everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Monday night. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Coming back on a Monday night, we got some good grassroots race action coming at you via the Street Stock Series here at Phoenix International Raceway. It's a short track national showdown league doing 100 laps here at this wonderful 1-mile track. We are going to move to the playing of the national anthem when we come back. We'll talk about some point standings, scheduling, and more to come on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. So definitely stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after the playing of our national anthem. Stay tuned. Good evening and welcome everyone to Phoenix International Raceway this Monday night. I'm Dustin Caldwell. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We've got 100 laps of street stock race action coming at you here this evening. Let's take a look about our race information here before we get into the driver information. Race information tonight here at this 1-mile track in Phoenix, Arizona. Weather information down there in the bottom, 65 degrees, 0% humidity, a little bit overcast with 70 degrees on that track. A lot of grip to be had out there on this 1-mile oval. Kind of oval, oblong oval we can call it. But it's going to be some great racing. We got about 17 drivers logging in here tonight for some great racing. Talking about the points, Thomas Axum, after last week at USA, still atop of the leaderboard. With that Tom Axum trunking sponsor on that car with a total of 32 points. Right behind him, though, Dan LaFoe, the GTR Simulator Chevrolet with 21 points. Kalen Moeller climbed his way up to third last week with the Mother's Polish and Wax car. 19 points to be had. We had a lot of drivers at USA International Speedway that were tied in the first 5 slots, but after last week, we saw a separation in the top 5, so as we continue down back in 4th position in points, Ryan Lang, the Clearview LLC car with 15 total points, and rounding out your top 5, Blake Barney with a unsponsored vehicle at this time, a total of 14 points. So from 14 points to 32 points, a big separation in that top 5. Who will be taking home victory tonight? That is going to be the question as we take a look at our qualifying results. Put them up there on the screen for you. Looks like Stephen Harrison has a fast time of 31.987, hitting about 113.29 miles an hour out there on the track. Michael Rafferty, very tough battle last week at USA, that 41 machine. He's out there trying to do what he can with that Mindset Racing machine out there, trying to hit first just about .029 seconds off of Harrison. Harrison and that PSR TV machine you're going to see here tonight, the number one car, is going to be the one to beat. Wesley Utt did really good at USA last week in that School Bandit car. And we'll see if he has what it takes to climb his way into victory lane tonight at Phoenix. Jeremy Crandall, another driver here tonight, making his debut. He's certainly gotten 0 in the points, but he's going to try to gain his way up as he is currently in 4th position as far as qualifying that BART competition karting car. He'll be trying to make his way up towards the front. And Blake Barney, we talked about him being in the top 5 in points. And rightfully so, finds himself in 5th position for qualifying here at Phoenix. Just about .081 off that time. So a lot of fast times, folks. We're down into the low 100s between 1st and 5th position so far here in qualifying. Drivers trying to put down their best times. See where they're going to end up on that grid. Coming up Wednesday night, the Championship Racing Association is back in action with the Modified Madness Tour. They're going to be taking on Rockingham Speedway for 100 laps. That's going to be some great race action. 2 different kinds of classes of car out on the track at the same time. They are both modifieds. One runs a larger horsepower, that's the tour cars, versus the light cars, as they call them in that series. They'll be out on that track battling it out. And had some schedule changes on Friday nights. We're still getting that worked out. Should have another short track series coming at you and possibly something in the works for this Thursday. You'll have to stay tuned for that. As we look to get all that ironed out this week, we'll try to bring that to you and get it up on our website. You can find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/digitalforgebroadcasting. If you like what you see here tonight, folks, and you're an iRacing driver, and you want to get in on this action, I believe there is still time. You can find them out on the web at shorttracknationalshowdown.com or in the iRacing directory. Look up number 1 National Short Track Showdown in that directory to be able to find this league. Contact Skip Lynn or Ted Groh. Those are the 2 guys that you want to get a hold of. And actually, I believe, if talking about Ted Groh, he's actually going to field the grid here tonight. Guy likes to get his little bit of hands-on action, and he'll be out there on the field, while Skip Lynn, I believe, is just going to be in the control booth tonight. So we'll have to see how that will pan out for these drivers. Talking about the drivers meeting, got a chance to listen in on that. A lot of concern out of turn number 4 in pit entry. There is a little bit of gappage there before the pit entrance, and a lot of drivers want to try to shoot that apron to be able to pick up some spots, so may have some controversy there if one of the drivers decides to take that risk. We'll have to see how that'll play out. But definitely trying to keep the cautions low here at Phoenix, keep everybody safe, and keep the racing great for you fans out there. We got some shout-outs out there from Don King for Crandall. Looks like he's jumping behind that driver there, seeing if Crandall can have what it takes. Jeremy Crandall, that number 73 machine. Again, running that BART competition karting car. I'll have to see where this will be, folks. 100 laps of street stock at a 1-mile track. We did 150 last week at USA, and it was some good hard racing up front. Thomas Axum, Michael Rafferty went out it for a while. But in the end, there could only be one victor. And last week, it was a close battle. Just a few more moments here while they are finishing up their qualifying times before we'll be set to get you that gridding information. And as always, we appreciate you tuning in and taking part in the YouTube chat out there. If you have any drivers, see any of these drivers out here that you know, want to cheer them on, have any cheers or jeers, feel free to express your opinion out there in that driver chat. Love to get the fans involved with the races as well. And now we're seeing the checkered flag come out for the qualifying session, so we'll be moving to the grid momentarily. So as they are moving to the grid, let's take a look at the gridding session, or the qualifying session. Here is what your grid is going to look like tonight. On the pole, it is going to be the number 1, Stephen Harrison, will be to that inside lane. To his outside, the number 41 of Michael Rafferty, followed by Wesley Utt and Jeremy Crandall there in that second row. Rounding out your top 5, the 14 of Blake Barney. 6th position going to go to D.W. Jones, a hard-fought battle at USA last week. And remember, folks, one of the things we talked about at USA, Thomas Axum, who's starting 7th tonight, had the fast time at USA, had to start at the tail because he won the week prior at South Boston. But tonight it looks like he's going to be okay. He'll be in 7th position. Matt Cooker to the outside of him in 8th, that number 12 machine. 9th position will be Kalen Muller, followed by Tracy Jenkins, rounding out that top 10. Looking on back, Mark LaRoche, the 38 car, will be 11th. Dan LaFoe. That number 11 car will be in 12th. Back in 13th, Ryan Lang, the number 77 machine, followed by the 53 machine of James Kugler in 14th. Looking back to that next row, in 15th position, Timothy Barnes, the number 19 car, will start there. To his outside, we'll have Skip Lynn in 16th. Ted Gross, 17th. Alex Cochran in 18th, and it looks like Cole Eastman will be starting shotgun on the field, the number 55 car, back in 19th. So it looks like the drivers are set to go. And if our information would clear the screen here. There we go. All right, so we are raring and ready to go here, folks. Start to see the pace car take these cars around. It's going to be that number 1 car of Stephen Harrison on the pole with that 41 car to the outside. Again, Stephen Harrison currently sitting 7th in points as that PSR TV sponsored car. We'll have the 41 to his outside. That's going to be Michael Rafferty. Rafferty running that Mindset Racing sponsored car. Lights off that pace car. We're going to be set to go racing as they make their way towards the 3rd and 4th turn here. Here we go. Pace cars into the pits. 100 laps of race action coming at you in the front stretch. Here we go. The green flag's in the air. Some side-by-side race action out of that second turn into the little area of the track. The wedged area, if you want to call it that. Rafferty and Harrison with a little bit of climb action. Some near 3-wide action into the 4th turn. Down that front stretch for that first lap. It's going to go to, looks like Harrison will pick it up. And Harrison's going to move to the lead coming out of 2. Rafferty will assume 2nd position, back in 3rd, the 45 of Wesley Utt, as they make their way down towards the 3rd and 4th turn. 73 machine to the inside of Rafferty, almost making some contact. Axum now back there battling with Cooker. '73 machine. Jeremy Crandall now up in the mix, the 45 of Wesley Utt, and we're going to have a caution. And it looks like that Batmobile, the number 11 of D.W. Jones, is going to be involved on that one. DW Jones running that Batman-sponsored car tonight. So Batman himself, Bruce Wayne, sponsoring that number 11 machine. Let's go back and take a look at the replay and see exactly what happened. Like a little bit of looseness there from the 17. Oh, wow, he's going to get smacked hard. Looked like the 31 of Tracy Jenkins really hitting DW Jones hard. But luckily, these street stocks can take a banging and a bruising. It looks like he's just going to have a little bit of cooked tires out of this one. So, got a couple laps in before the first caution flag came out tonight. As they're crossing the start-finish line, we'll get you the top 5 here. Here's what your top 5 looks like. Stephen Harrison, Michael Rafferty, Jeremy Crandall, Wesley Udd, and Thomas Axum. So definitely some good hard racing early on in this race. We'll take a short commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll have some more race action your way. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the pace car is going to be set to go into the pits this time by, we'll be back green on lap number 8. It will be Rafferty and Harrison up front. Harrison to set the pace. There goes the pace car, and here they come down the front stretch.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag flies. We are back to the race on lap number 8. And Thomas Axum making it 3 wide before turn number 1 is going to cook that inside groove. Ladies and gentlemen, that 13 car is showing some aggression early on in this race here on lap number 8 and bouncing around like a ping pong ball. That 73 machine of Jeremy Crandall is going to go for a ride just out of turn number 2. Let's go back and take a look at the replay here on Crandall. Figure out what got him loose in that second turn. So as they bring the camera down closer, we'll slow it up right here and see Thomas Axum already down there, making it 3 wide, cooking that inside lane, folks. Crandall finds himself side by side at this point here in turn number 1. See that Skull Bandit car, the number 45. Wesley Hunt there to the outside. Rafferty there behind Harrison coming out of the turn. Thomas Axum climbs the contour of the track. The 41 of Rafferty is going to make contact with the wall, come down into the side. I'll take a look at that. Right into the side of Crandall. Crandall then is going to have a little bit of turned action from the 12 of Cooker. And that 73 machine is going to go for a spin right back up to where it started into the 41 of Michael Rafferty, who then transfers it up to Wesley Utt. The 77 has some great awareness there. Ryan Lane cuts to the bottom point of the corner or the track. And you see the 3 guys here. Wesley Utt, the victim of circumstance in that Skull Bandit 45 machine. 41 of Rafferty, the guy who started it all with making contact with the wall, will come back in, and he's going to get a lot of heavy damage right after the safer barrier. You can see there's no safer barrier up there on that wall. And Jeremy Crandall, though, will get bounced around like a ping pong ball between a couple of cars before he comes to rest right there to the tail of Wesley Utt. Dial it back one more time for you. We'll take you on board here with Jeremy Crandall. Carolina driver, see, started 4th. He'll be back in 11th when this is all said and done. See Thomas Axum to the inside here in the first turn. You hear him there. There's the contact. Axum squeaks by, and just like that. Tough break for that 73 machine. So with that being said, folks, looks like the Tom Axum Trucking number 13 car of Thomas Axum is going to go to the front of the field. Some penalties being issued there. If you bring out a caution, being told by race control, if you bring out a caution, you are sent to the back of the field. You're what they call EOL'd into the line. So Thomas Axum, the benefactor here with the aggressive move, high risk, high reward. It does pay off here for that 13 machine, as he now finds himself to the front of the field. He'll be setting the pace when we go back green on lap number 13. Take a look at that. 13 car leading the field on lap number 13. It's an omen. Will this guy, the leader in points here tonight in that Tom Axum Trucking Chevrolet, be able to pull his way up to victory lane? He'll have the 14 of Blake Barney to the outside. See the pace cars bringing them around, set to go into the pits, this time by. There goes the pace car. Here they come to the front stretch. And the green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap number 13. Some bumping and banging there right after the start-finish line. Some checkup action. Looked like D.W. Jones checked up just a little bit. And now that 14 of Blake Barney, 3 wide action nearly coming out of turn 2 to the high side. The 14 machine trying to edge out Axum to take over the race lead here on lap 13. That lower groove's going to win out in the cooler temperatures though, but don't count out that outside out of turn number 4. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, down the front stretch, side by side, and Thomas Axum is still going to hang on to the lead, as he barely beat out Blake Barney by a nose. D.W. Jones. Oh, and There's some clocked action there from D.W. Jones. He's going to go spin and come right back up. Oh, wow. Rafferty tried to negotiate that maneuver and actually ended up right into the side of D.W. Jones. Take a look at the damage on the Batmobile. Luckily, being backed by billionaire Bruce Wayne, D.W. Jones will have some fast repairs down pit road. He'll be able to get that taken care of. Tough break there for that guy. Let's run back to replay and take a look at the action. You're going to see D.W. Jones get into the back of Matt Cooker right in turn number 1. Here's a good view of it. Actually, we can bring you down closer. Right there's the contact from D.W. Jones into the back of Cooker. Cooker dirt tracks it, saves it. Take a look at that smoking the bandit action there from the number 12 machine of Matt Cooker to save it. And likewise, the 84 of Caleb Moeller is going to apply what D.W. applied right to Cooker. And unfortunately, that 17 machine there of D.W. Jones is not able to hold on to it. He goes for a spin down on the apron, comes back up to the track. Now keep your eyes on the 41 here of Michael Rafferty, who's trying to negotiate where he's going, but D.W. Jones comes to a stop, smashes right into the side, throwing him up into the wall. And the Mid-South driver who started 6th here tonight is going to find himself doubled in position. He'll be back in 12th when we go back to the green. Still having that damage there. It was not able to get down pit road the last time by. So he'll have to get that worked out. There is your race leader and points leader. See if we can get a driver interview for you folks as they come by. Thomas Axum, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there?
Yep.
Well, you find yourself to the front of the field. You started 7th here tonight, currently running in 1st position. Made some really aggressive moves back on lap number 8, cut it to the inside, went 3 wide, and due to the ensuing wreck that happened in turns 1 and 2, you were able to get out ahead of everybody and actually take over the race lead. Have a total of 6 laps led here. Tell us how the car is handling tonight.
The car's a little snug right now, and then it tends to get a little loose off, but I know if we get a really long green flag run, my car will be at its best when we get a lot of laps on these tires, and I'm hoping we can almost kind of stay green for the rest of the way.
Talking about being up in this 1 mile track area, we saw you were pretty much fighting for the lead last week at USA. Ended up getting 2nd position there. Is there any expectations we can hatch from the 13 car here tonight?
I'm hoping to try and stay towards the front, hopefully in the top 3 or so, because passing gets a little hard here, especially with a snug car. It's really too grooved, so it's just going to be whoever makes a mistake first, and just hoping it's not going to be me and I can be the first one past start finish line on the last lap.
All right, well, doing that, Tom Axum Trucking sponsor proud there. Thomas Axum, best of luck to you in the laps to come, bud.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. Thomas Axum, driver of the number 13 car, ironically took us back to the green on lap number 13. Pace car will be going into the pits this time by lap number 19 is where we'll see the green flag. Axum will have a very fast Blake Barney to his outside. That 14 car running that high line really well. Pace cars into the pits. Here they come. Green flags back in the air. Lap number 19. See the cars battling side by side. Oh!
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Some good hard racing here, folks. Looks like the number 1 of Stephen Harrison may have been involved in this one. We'll pick on the number 1 car here, go back and take a look. Coming back to the restart, you can see how competitive this will be, folks. Harrison will be to the inside of Crandall here in turn number 1. I think 11, there it is, right there, LaFoe. Dan LaFoe starting all that mayhem out of turn number 2. A lot of the drivers. Oh, wow. Some afterthought contact there between LaFoe. Even Kugler got involved in that. I don't think it was intentional, but emotions are starting to flare here 20 laps into this race. One more time, we'll go back and take a look. Let's back it up one more time. Just when you thought you had enough room, you didn't have enough. So one more time, we'll back it up here. Coming back to the restart, we're going to be following number 11 of Dan LaFoe, who's going to get loose coming out of turn number 2. He's running really high on the high side of the track, and you're going to see he's going to lose grip. Right about there, you can see the rear end start to come around on him. LaFoe in the GTR racing machine will be to the outside of Ryan Lang, the 77 car there, the inside. And as he begins to climb the track here at this point, you're going to start to see the rear end come around. He's starting to push towards the wall. A little bit of overdrive here, and right there, take a look at that. Becomes too much, gets up around the high point of the track and comes right down into the side of Ryan Lang. And turns, goes up into the pathway of Jeremy Crandall. Crandall with nowhere to go. Tries to avoid him on the inside. Oh, and almost makes it by. You can see a little bit of bunch in there. Crandall's going to go into the side of Harrison. Backwards down the track goes LaFoe. Rafferty gets involved in that one as well. All that mayhem, and Dan LaFoe falls back to 12th position now. Amidst all that chaos, it is the 14 car of Blake Barney. Unsponsored red and black machine tonight, who has taken over the race lead into this caution. As the lights come off that pace car, you see some cars waiting here. Got a car driving up to the high side. It's Cole Eastman. 55 car, the New England driver having some issues there. Get that worked out. Blake Barney there, the New Jersey driver, started 5th position. He's up into 1st. Total 6 laps led now for that 14 car. Pace car going to go into the pits. We're going to be back green on lap number 24. And there goes the pace car.
Green flag.
The green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 24. Barney sets that pace into turn number 1. Axum now will have to drive the outside, talking about a snug car. He's going to have to be extra cautious. Oh, and some dangerous moves there from the 12 of Cooker. Nearly wiped his nose on the bumper of Barney, and take a look at this. 3, nearly 4 wide, heading into the 3rd turn. The 84 is going to get really tight. Galen Moeller is going to lose out, falls back to 4th position as Cooker and Barney go sailing by on the inside. And now Cooker to the high side of Barney. Axum takes back over the race lead. into lap number 25, and a good side-by-side battle between Barney and Cooker, but it looks like Barney's going to win that battle coming out of turn number 2. Right in front of him, oh, take a look at this. Kalen Moeller battles back to the inside of Cooker into turn number 3 and 4. And Moeller looks to take back third position. He's going to climb the track just a little bit. May have been a little netcode bump there, but Cooker hangs on to third position into lap number 26. Jumping back behind these guys, D.W. Jones finds himself behind the 77 of Ryan Lang, who pushes in turn number 2. And that looks like the 17 Batmobile has gained a fast repair and has picked up some speed. Now has Stephen Harrison climbing underneath it. Boy, is Ryan Lang pushing really high in these turns. Car's looking really tight. Oh, and Moeller's going to make contact with the front stretch wall, and around goes D.W. Jones. Here comes Stephen Harrison. Kalen Moeller now to the high side. These guys are fighting these cars to the lower side of the track. Top 3 look to be in single file as D.W. Jones trying to hold off Stephen Harrison. And it looks like Kalen Moeller, well, D.W. Jones comes up to block Kalen Moeller. That opens the doorway right there for Stephen Harrison. And Harrison in that PSR TV car to the inside. Oh, and D.W. Jones makes some contact with the wall and comes down into Stephen Harrison. Boy, these guys are fighting hard. A little checkup from Moeller, and Lang says, hey, I'll give you a little bit of a love tap to the bumper. And now out of turn number 2 here on lap 28. These guys are starting to get some good green flag running going on. Wesley Utt back there with the 38. 38 of Mark LaRoche to the outside pushing in turn number 4. 45 of Utt will go by the inside. Right behind him, though, Dan LaFoe. Behind LaRoche, excuse me, is the 53 of Kugler. Currently 1 lap down. Back to the front, still a good battle here, folks. As Axum into the third turn with Barney behind him, Cooker behind Barney. These top 3 drivers have got the setup and the track down pat. Into lap number 30 they go this time by. Harrison able to be out in 4th. With no competition at this point on the track. D.W. Jones, though, look at that battle with Ryan Lang out of turn number 2, Lang to the inside. Ryan Lang, oh, he's going to lose out as D.W. Jones is able to get around him. Ryan Lang in that Clearview LLC car to the inside of Rafferty. Rafferty running that Mindset racing machine. A good side-by-side battle between Lang. Lang falls back to 7th now, as Rafferty will have a nose on him coming across that start-finish line. Oh, some crossover moves from Wesley Utt back there in that Skull Bandit 45 machine. Still side-by-side, the 41 and the 77 go into the backstretch. And Rafferty will take over that position as Lang used the rumble strip. Unfortunately, was a big disadvantage. Here comes that 38 of LaRoche to the outside. He's going to push, and now Wesley Utt looks to the inside. Out of turn number 4. Some great hard racing now, folks. And look at the side-by-side battle between Cooker and Barney. Cooker really burning those tires to stay to the inside. And a little crossover move, but Cooker's going to throw the block. Blake Barney now looks to the inside into turn number 3. Matt Cooker's going to be pushed up the track here. Really be able to hold on that outside line. Luckily, he's got the cooler temperatures on his side into the front stretch. And Matt Cooker, the number 12 machine, is going to hold on to 2nd this time around. What a battle. And now Blake Barney begins to check out. A potential pass. This time around, he's going to look. Not going to make a move here in the rumble strip. Was looking for that aggressive move. Will he make the dive here? Not quite. So it looks like Blake Barney in the 14 machine is going to slow up for the time being. Not push it too hard. Coming out of turn number 4 will be behind the 12 of Matt Cooker. Still in 4th position with no competition. Number 1 of Stephen Harrison. Making his way around the track in that PSR Chevrolet, or PSR TV Chevrolet. Rafferty, though, Michael Rafferty, the 41 car in the Mindset Racing, is in your top 5. Just outside the top 5 is the Batman himself, D.W. Jones. Now looking to the inside, will take over 4th position. Oh, but it's going to cost him. He's going to slow up, and now Rafferty's on his bumper, giving him a little push coming out of turn number 4. Looked like the 38 of Mark LaRoche made some contact with the wall there in the front stretch. And now Ryan Lang looks to the inside. Oh, high risk.
Caution is out. Caution
No
is out.
reward for the 77. The only thing he's going to get is a date with the wall there in turn number 1. He's going to try to dive bomb it underneath of him. Did not work out for the 77 machine, and he ends up a little bit of damage on the front of that car. Let's go back and take a look. You're going to see this is what they call a dive bomb, folks, where they try to dive it underneath the guy right here. See Ryan Lang. He's going to try to dive it underneath the 41 of Rafferty, thinking that Rafferty's going to climb the track, but Rafferty holds true to his line. And it's just a matter of miscalculation from the 77 of Ryan Lang, as well as the 38. Really, the 38 of LaRoche had nowhere to go but to the back of the bumper. The 77 of Lang, and Lang is going to go face-to-face with Kalen Moeller. Moeller will go up in the wall as well. He'll actually have a head-on collision with the wall, luckily the safer barrier being there, as the driver's side door of the 77 of Lang's car will make contact. So Kalen Moeller and that Mother's Polish and Wax plus Snap-on sponsors on that car, that 84 car, will have some heavy, heavy damage on it. Last car on the lead lap. Take a look at that. You can see some major damage there on his car. Also has a little bit of K&N on the back of that. Sponsors. Moeller makes his way down pit road. We'll have to get a fast repair here. And like that, tell you what, a lot of the guys out there in the real world would love to have that kind of repairability. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the 41 of Rafferty, the guy who was involved in that, will stay out. Maybe we'll look to go into the pits this time around. We'll have to see. And it looks like he is going to go down pit road. Oh no, a little fake out action there. So Rafferty will take over the race lead. Take us back to the green here as the drivers start their early race pit. And oh no. Race control seeing something they don't like from the 41 of Rafferty. So he actually is stopping there on the track. Not quite sure what's going on with him. So Stephen Harrison now looks to be out front of the field. So Rafferty must be getting an EOL penalty due to being involved in it, though it was not his fault. It was Ryan Lang's fault, dive bombing him in the first turn. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you here in Phoenix. This is the Street Stock Series Short Track National Showdown on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Caution is out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just as we were coming back, D.W. Jones was involved in an incident here. It's bringing out the yellow of the night. Let's go back and take a look. Good hard-fought battle at the restart. Thomas Axum there to the inside. You see these guys fighting for every bit of position. And wow, did he really fight his way? And that's going to be a net code bump there. So D.W. Jones really fighting to block out Thomas Axum. And the result will be a net code bump. And for those of you who do not understand that terminology, that is where the software recognizes a driver or a vehicle to be where it visually is not. Visually, we saw the 17 of D.W. Jones ahead of Thomas Axum, but the software saw him just a little bit back. Hence, there was a collision that took place. And think of there's like an invisible orb around the car. And that right there, folks, is what caused it. So D.W. Jones in the Batmobile machine is going to have a pass-through penalty here, being involved in the cautions. So see if we can get Skip Lynn, who's in the race control tower. We're going to bring him in real quick to talk about D.W. Jones here. Skip Lynn, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
So we see D.W. Jones involved in here in another caution here tonight. What kind of penalty can the 17 car face here?
He's going to be looking for a drive-through penalty under green. He'll have 3 laps to serve it.
And for our fans out there who may not know the drive-through penalty, can you explain that, please?
Once the green flag comes out, he'll have 3 green flag laps to do a drive-through penalty. He don't have to stop or anything. He just has to maintain pit road speed all the way through and get back going.
And that's the third tier of penalties being involved in an incident, or where is he at currently right now?
Yes, that's the third incident right there. One more, he'll get a 2-point championship penalty. And then determining on how he ran all night, he might have to sit out a week. We're just trying to cut back on some of these wrecks. We've tried multiple things and nothing seems to be working. I mean, we've done everything short of driving the cars, so.
All right. Well, appreciate the information there for our viewers. And what's your thoughts so far on tonight's race?
That's good, hard racing. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in here. They just need to learn to use their head a little bit. There's money at stake, so everybody feels that they need to get that spot as soon as possible because the racing is so close. They're not going to be able to gain if we were to get a green flag run. So these guys can get a little bit of give and take, I think would be all right.
Well, luckily the fact I think monsoon season is a little bit over with out in the Phoenix area, so they don't have to worry about rain here tonight. So, but appreciate the information there, Skip, and hopefully we'll have a great finish to tonight's race.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Well, there you have it, folks. Skip Lynn, one of the race control administrators for the Short Track National Showdown League. Trying to keep these street stocks in line. And as we've seen with the 17 Batmobile of D.W. Jones, he's going to be pretty much relegated to the back of the field due to the fact he will have a drive-through penalty. He said he had 3 laps to serve it. And when he finally does, he definitely would want to serve it. He has to serve it under green flag, mind you, folks. Under green flag, not during the yellow. So when they go back green, he'll have 3 laps to serve that drive-through penalty. Lights should be coming off the pace car here this time,
all right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So it looks like the lights will come back on the pace car. For one more lap. So now the lights should come off the pace car this time by. Race control had to get the lineup situated there. 73 of Jeremy Crandall finds himself back to the front of the field. Again, Crandall tonight running that BARC competition karting car. To his outside is that 38 of Mark LaRoche. LaRoche currently tied 7th with Wesley Hutton points. LaRoche being sponsored by Monster Energy on that car. And seeing a lot of people out there tonight. Got some loose lug nuts racing out there in the chat. Jade Smoke as well. Michelle Eisenhower joining us. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the chat tonight. Pace car set to go into the pits. There it goes. Here they come to the front stretch.
Green flag.
The green flag flies on lap number 47. And already to the inside, the 14 of Blake Barney pulls a Thomas Axum move to the inside of Dan LaFoe. And it's going to pan out, but LaFoe is going to have a little bit of contact with Rafferty. And around the 38 is going to go to the high side. That's LaRoche trying to get around the 73. Barney into the back of Crandall in turn number 4. And now Crandall's going to push up the track. And oh, wow. Blake Barney taking the risk here. To the inside of Crandall goes Barney into turn number 1. He's going to push that 73 car up the track. Rafferty right behind him. Oh, this is dangerous right here. Oh, a little bit of nudge from the 41 of Rafferty to the back of Barney. Into turn number 3 they go. A little bit of slow up action, but Mark LaRoche has taken over the race lead. Out of turn number 4, Barney to the outside. Oh, and some contact there.
Man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, wow. Boy, did Michael Rafferty feel the wrath of the field. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. So Crandall's going to be to the high side. Here comes Rafferty right there. So Cooker's going to get some contact to Rafferty, which in turn will return into Crandall. See some sparks flying there. Crandall and Rafferty. And right there is Cooker, Matt Cooker. He's going to turn Rafferty. It's a 3-car pile up here, but take a look at this. Wow, Eastman is going to go flying. And LaFoe with a huge hit to the side of Rafferty. And Rafferty is going to go spinning around. Nearly threw him over that pit wall, the inside lane wall here on the front stretch. A lot of smoke coming out of the front of that car. Rafferty now makes his way down pit road. We'll get a little bit of repair action going on. I believe his fast repairs have been used up tonight. You see Cooker making his way off of pit road. So this guy right here, the 38 of Mark LaRoche. Monster Energy, the sponsor on that car. New England driver who started 11th here tonight. Has a total of 3 laps led, finds himself up front after a hard-fought battle. The guy behind him, Blake Barney, this New Jersey driver with a New Jersey attitude. Definitely very, very aggressive on the field tonight. Don't know why I said New Jersey attitude, but anybody who's been out there in New Jersey and not making a stab there, I'm just saying. Guy's definitely a solid driver out there in that 14 machine. So let's see if we can get a driver interview here for you folks with Mark LaRoche. Mark LaRoche, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there?
Good, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. You find yourself at the front of the field going back to green. Tell us how your race is going tonight.
Oh, it's going pretty good. I got caught up in a couple of wrecks, but managed to get it fixed. I'm surprised to be up front.
Is your car looking like it's handling really well if we get some of these green flag laps down?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it's just coming into it.
All right, is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give while we got you on the line?
Now, just ready to get racing.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the laps to come, bud.
All right, thank you.
There you have it, folks, the 38 of Mark LaRoche. Currently at the race lead, all business. Little talk. He's ready to go racing, folks, as they make their way into the backstretch. We'll have that green flag out on lap number 53. He's going to have a hard-fought battle with that 14 car of Blake Barney to the outside. And just like Skip Lynn pointed out, these guys are driving every lap like it's the last lap. They want to be able to get out in front of everybody. They have to use a little bit of patience here. Here we go. Pace car set to go into the pits out of turn number 4. There goes the pace car into the front stretch. Here they come.
Green flag.
And the green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap number 53. And Barney already ready for that restart. Tries to get around LaRoche. LaRoche hugging that yellow line through turn number 1. Out of turn number 2 into the backstretch. Here they go. Blake Barney fires around as well as Kalen Moeller. Side-by-side battle there between Harrison and Axum, but short-lived as Axum will go by the inside of Stephen Harrison and take over 4th position. Now looking to climb the track. Here comes Thomas Axum behind Mark LaRoche. We'll look to dive it to the inside in turn number 1. The 38 not going to give a battle there. Oh, Thomas Axum starts to push midway through the turn. Fires out of turn number 2 as Moeller makes some contact with the wall. Here comes the 13 of Thomas Axum to the inside, and LaRoche is going to follow him down to the lower groove. That's going to stick the 84 out to dry in the high groove. Oh, LaRoche pushes through to the entry point of turn number 4, and coming out of that 4th turn into the front stretch, Moeller making contact with the wall will allow the 38 of LaRoche to go by the inside. Axum now in 2nd position. As LaRoche battling side by side with Moeller. Here comes Stephen Harrison in the PSR TV Chevrolet to the inside of LaRoche. LaRoche gives way to Harrison. Now Ryan Lang and Matt Cook are nearly making it a diagonal. 3 wide through turn number 4. Lang trying to push it. He's going to end up on the apron nearly. That dive ball move caught him some damage earlier. I'm surprised he's trying to be that aggressive here just at over the halfway point of the race. As now Matt Cooker to the inside of Mark LaRoche. Cooker goes by the inside, and he will take over 5th position. Cooker making his points debut tonight. The S&D Bodyline car, number 12 machine, just out there in 5th position ahead of the 38 of Mark LaRoche. Axum now looking to battle with Blake Barney through turn number 1 here on lap number 57. To the high side, Thomas Axum in that Axum trucking car will not win out the battle out of turn number 2 as Blake Barney has the golden line. Rumble strip action there in the backstretch towards the 3rd turn now. Blake Barney's holding on to that lower groove. Look at that, folks. Nice little battle up there for the race lead into lap number 58. Here they come. Look at that. If we get a finish that close, that would be amazing. Blake Barney, the unsponsored car to the lower side, the number 14 machine. Climbing that track out of turn number 2. Thomas Axum flirting with that wall. Will take him on the high side. So now Thomas Axum takes over the race lead. Take a look at that out of the backstretch. That high groove. Thomas Axum has got to be thanking those cooler temperatures for being able to run that outside line. So Thomas Axum will take over the race lead into lap number 59. Matt Cooker, though, look at the battle between Cooker and Harrison. Boy, they are really racing each other hard, and Kalen Moeller said, wait, I'll just take that inside nearly by you. Doesn't have the power to beat him in that particular position. Oh, Moeller nearly making contact with Harrison. Harrison's going to scream up that track to avoid contact. Nearly getting loose. Cooker moves up to 3rd position. So this is what your top 5 looks like here on lap number 60, folks. Thomas Axum, Blake Barney, Matt Cooker, Stephen Harrison, and Wesley Utt are your top 5. A little bit of race summary for you.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
So caution count, it goes up to 8 now. And wow, heavy damage on the 84 of Kalen Moeller and that Mother's polish and wax machine. Let's go back and take a look. So Ryan Lang, wow! And that blew the motor nearly right there. Let's back it up just a little bit, folks. What a battle. Ryan Lang and Kalen Moeller really going at it. You see there, the 84 looked to be a little loose. That was the point where Harrison nearly got loose to scream up the track. Wesley Utt behind him. So Ryan Lang looks to the inside. Right here. So Ryan Lang looked like he wanted to come to that outside groove to pass Wesley Utt, and in doing so did not have the clear sign from his spotter. And just completely drives the 84 right up into the wall. Take a look at that. Head-on collision. Luckily, that safer barrier being there to minimize impact on the driver as well as the car. But nothing can really save the front end of that car as we see the radiator pretty much sticking out there. And Kayla Moeller here tonight. This Texas driver started at 9th. Been a tough night. Trying to get anything going coming into tonight, third in points, just about 16 points behind, or excuse me, 13, or I can get my math right, 14 points behind Thomas Axum. Just been having a tough night here in Phoenix. Heavy damage down there on that car. So into lap number 63, it is the 12 of Matt Cooker. Matt Cooker in that S&D Bodyline machine looking to pick up his first victory of the series here in race number 4 of this 10-race series. Coming up next week, Street Stocks are going to come out of Phoenix, and they're going to go into Oxford Plains. And anybody out there who knows that track, that is going to be an interesting night. Almost a perfect circle, folks, of racing. One of the hardest tracks to navigate, short tracks to navigate out here in iRacing. And these guys are going to take it on next week in this Street Stock Series. So Matt Cooker comes across the start-finish line into lap number 64 with the helm of the field. Rest of the field behind him. Lights come off that pace car. Here is what your top 5 looks like now. So it's Cooker, Rafferty, Utt, Axum, and Barney. I tell you what, folks, what we've been witnessing here tonight, every lap, is almost like it's the last lap of the race in the championship race, as hard as these guys are fighting for positions. And as we're now on the back half, getting towards that back quarter of tonight's race, I just can only imagine what that's going to look like towards the end, how hard these guys are going to continue to fight. Pace car is going to be set to go into the pits this time by. We'll be back green on lap number 65. Matt Cooker to set the pace. We'll have the 41 of Rafferty to the outside. Here we go, folks. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag.
And the green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap number 65. And Barney to the inside, followed by D.W. Jones. These guys are really working that inside groove, burning to the inside. And take a look at that. The 14 of Blake Barney already up to second position to the inside of Wesley Utt. Out of turn number 2. Looks to run down the 12 of Matt Cooker. Wesley Utt, though, is not going to go away, running that outside groove. Falls back to third as now Thomas Axum joins the fun on that lower groove to the inside of the 45 of Wesley Utt. Still some side-by-side action between Barney and Utt. Barney has not cleared the 45 car into turn number 1. And Wesley Utt is going to begin to push up the track. Here comes Thomas Axum to the inside. They'll be side-by-side in the backstretch. That Skull Bandit car, number 45, Wesley Utt to the high side of Thomas Axum into turn number 3. Here comes the PSR TV machine of Stephen Harrison to the inside of Wesley Utt. Utt now falls back to 4th, looking to fall back to 5th as Stephen Harrison looking to pass to the inside down the front stretch into turn number 1 on lap number 67. Side-by-side battle, Wesley Utt to the outside of Stephen Harrison out of turn number 2. Harrison trying to clear him. You can see he wants that line. Cannot get it this time by as he goes towards turn number 3. Look at the battle up front. Cooker desperately trying to hold off the 14 of Blake Barney through turn number 4. Barney looking eager to the inside. Will try to pass Cooker to the inside. Here they come down the front stretch. And Blake Barney's trying to get to the inside first. And he's going to do it. Will he get tight in the turn? Oh, they begin to climb, and Blake Barney side by side. Beautiful battle up front for the race lead. Thomas Axum trying to push Matt Cooker ahead of Barney. Says, I want you to stay out ahead of him so we have something to do, because Thomas Axum knows that if Barney gets that race lead, it's going to be hard to fight that 14 car for the race lead. Across that start-finish line now into lap number 69, and Matt Cooker, the number 12 car, holds on to the race lead. Very, very close battle, and now Thomas Axum takes a peek at the inside groove. Barney says, I'm not going to fight it, go ahead and take it. He allows Thomas Axum that lower groove into turn number 3. And Stephen Harrison right there behind Axum. Out of turn number 4, here comes Cooker. Into the front stretch, ready to get into lap number 70. It's close. Nearly making contact, Stephen Harrison. Oh, and Axum tries a crossover move. No dice from the 12 machine as the 12 has found a nice line this late in the race. Thomas Axum trying to look to the inside. Will do so in turn number 3 to the inside of Matt Cooker. And Thomas Axum pushing in turn number 4. Will have some contact. Goes back down to the lower groove, and the 12 of Matt Cooker hangs on to the race lead into lap number 71. Blake Barney now to the inside of Stephen Harrison. The battle for 3rd right there behind Thomas Axum as they work their way through the first turn. A close-fought battle. Wesley Utt back there in 5th position. Side-by-side battle for the first 4 positions here. As Thomas Axum to the inside of turn number 3 yet again. And into turn number 4 begins to push just a little bit. Matt Cooker, though, no hard-fought battle really from this driver. He's got the line. Thomas Axum wants the line. He's working the inside. He's trying to push him up the track. And Thomas Axum out of turn number 2 may have done it. He's got the nose on him to the rumble strips on the backstretch. Thomas Axum fighting hard for the race lead into turn number 3. We'll have a half a car length over Matt Cooker. I don't know if Matt Cooker's going to be able to get back this time around. And out of turn number 4, the 13 machine of Axum Trucking takes over the race lead into lap number 73. Cooker, though, on the bumper of Axum, says, if you're going to take it, you got to work for it. I'm going to come right back at you. And Matt Cooker holds true to his line. And now we start to see the 13 of Thomas Axum pull away by a couple of car lengths. Still a good battle there with Blake Barney and Stephen Harrison, the battle for 3rd. Harrison to the outside now has Wesley Utt behind him. Harrison in the PSR TV machine behind the 14 of Blake Barney down the front stretch, still looking in 4th position as they head into lap number 74. Wesley Utt back there in the top 5. 45 machine behind him, Mr. Batman himself, D.W. Jones, been involved in a couple of cautions, and even after the drive-through penalty is up there in 6th position. Oh, a little bit of race contact between the 45 of Utt and D.W. Jones. D.W. Jones able to get around Wesley Utt. Here they come into the front stretch. Blake Barney has Stephen Harrison looking to the outside. Into lap number 75, crosses over to the inside, makes some contact, pushes that 14 car back straight. Oh, they're both going to make contact, and Blake Barney's not going to be able to hold on to the control. And they're going to have some major contact out of turn number 2. Unbelievable. And almost like Stephen Harrison knew he messed up and made contact with Blake Barney, tried to straighten him back out. And in doing so, they drove themselves up the track. And unfortunately, it was too much for the 14. He could not hold on to it, had no grip, and got turned around. Let's take a look. Walking you through this, you're going to see Stephen Harrison try the dive bomb move here into the inside. As he does it, notice how he's coming to the quarter panel. Most tracks would deem this to be necessarily a illegal pass because he wasn't at door level in the turn. He reaches door level at this point for the most part, but see, you can start to see the little bit of push the contact made. Realizes it, so he's going to climb up and tries to straighten out the 14. Says, I got you, buddy. I'm sorry, I got you. We'll get you straightened out here, and in doing so, gets a little bit loose himself. D.W. Jones says, I'm just going to go ahead and go on by. As you guys fight your way up the track, the 14 of Blake Barney makes some contact with the wall. And after that, that was all she wrote, folks, as the 14 comes around on the 1 of Stephen Harrison. Wesley Utt, fortunately, will try to get by. I'm sure he's going to have a little bit of contact here. Oh, just enough to get him loose. As that 45 Skull Bandit car tried to make it pass. He's going to get loose. But here comes the 73 of Stephen Crandall. Now watch this, folks. As they come out of turn number 2, heavy contact Blake Barney makes with the wall there. Bounces off the wall. Stephen Crandall has nowhere to go and slams into the side. And look at that, nearly flipping the car. Mark LaRoche smacks it. Airborne goes the 73 of Crandall. Unbelievable. And seeing that the 73 car got airborne, he was actually able to hold on to it. Kudos to the driving skills there of Stephen Crandall to be able to save that 73 machine in that BART competition karting car. What an incident, folks. What an incident. Good hard racing is going to bring out that yellow flag every now and then. And, you know, looking at that, you gotta kind of give it to the number 1 of Stephen Harrison. He knew he messed up in turn number 1, getting the 14 of Blake Barney loose, was trying to straighten him back out. At least that's what it looks like. Tried to straighten him back out. Unfortunately, it did not work out well for the both of them, especially Blake Barney. Caught the brunt of it when he bounced off that wall. And Stephen Crandall, though, folks, heavy contact with Blake Barney and just nearly flips the car. So we're now on the back quarter, the 4th quarter of this race. Tonight's 100-lap event, lap number 78. Down to 10 cars here. So it looks like Stephen Harrison has called it quits. Dan LaFoe, James Kugler, Cole Eastman, Tracy Jenkins all have bowed out of tonight's race. As we see the lights come off that pace car. It's going to be Thomas Axum and Matt Cooker battling it out. Wesley Utt will have D.W. Jones to the outside back there in the 2nd row. The 3rd row is going to be Crandall and LaRoche. Ryan Lang, Michael Rafferty, and on shotgun on the field, you got Blake Barney. Kayla Moeller looks like he's still down in the pits. Now looks to make his way out of the pits around to the track, so he's going to be joining the field right about the time we go green as the pace car now works its way into the 4th turn. Here we go, folks. Pace cars into the pits.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag flies. Lap number 80 coming at you. Cooker to the outside of Axum through the first turns. Into the backstretch, Axum holding on to the race lead, but Cooker working that outside. Has a nose on the 13. Let's see what happens here in turns 3 and 4. And it looks like Cooker and Axum side by side out of turn number 4. Who's going to have it? Looks like Cooker had it by just a nose. Some three-wide action back behind him. Take a look at this. Oh, D.W. Jones contact with Wesley Utt. LaRoche is going to go to the inside, comes back out to the
All
track.
right, man, caution is out.
And another caution
is out.
flag is going to come out. So as we get closer and closer to that 100 lap mark, folks, these guys are starting to feel the pressure. The nerves are starting to fly. Tension is starting to increase. And as you take a look at the race summary on your screen, yeah, we have 10 total cautions, but 14 lead changes on top of that. Can just show you how hard of racing we've seen here tonight. This is the Street Stock Series this Monday night here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Green flag, green flag.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back under the green flag into lap number 86. And you can see these guys are nearly making it 4 wide before turn number 1. Really hard-fought battle for positions here tonight. Matt Cooker, the number 12 machine, has bowed out of the race. We are down to 9 cars now. Battling for points here, and you're Series points leader, Thomas Axum in the Axum truck and number 13 car at the helm of the field. Heading into lap number 87, coming out of turn number 4 into the front stretch. Just behind him, the 77 of Ryan Lang. Ryan Lang in that Clearview LLC car. Back in third position, the 38 of Mark LaRoche. LaRoche with Monster Energy is going to make contact with the wall. Barney tries to avoid contact, and take a look at this. Wesley Utt makes it 3 wide into turn number 3. Gets around the 38 of LaRoche as Kalen Moeller. Mother's wax and polish on that car. Out of turn number 4. Hanging in there. 7th position currently. Battling with LaRoche. Moeller holds on to it. LaRoche to the outside of Moeller. Thomas Axum now begins to pull away to about a 3 to 5 car length lead over Ryan Lang. Blake Barney and Jeremy Crandall battle for the 4th position slot as Barney currently has it. Into the front stretch they go into lap number 89, excuse me. Barney begins to climb his way towards D.W. Jones in that 17 Batmobile car. Bumper contact through the rumble strips of the backstretch. Blake Barney says, move it or lose it, sister, I'm getting through. Gets him tight. That right there, folks, is a great short track move. That is a clean move. You wait for the right point of a guy entering a turn, you give him a little nudge, gets him tight, and as you saw D.W. Jones climb up the track just like that, it allowed that inside to pass for the 14 of Blake Barney. And Barney goes sailing on by here on lap number 90 out of turn number 2. That is an effective way to pass somebody through short track racing and do it, call it clean. As we see now Crandall and D.W. Jones making some contact there in the 4th turn. Here comes D.W. Jones down the front stretch. Crandall takes a trip back to 1955, disappears. I'm not exactly sure what happened with Crandall, but he has disappeared, folks. Not exactly sure what happened with the 73, but we are down to 8 cars. And right behind D.W. Jones, Kalen Moeller and Wesley Utt battle it out for that 5th position slot. And currently the 84 of Kalen Moeller holding on to it. Wesley Utt looks to the inside across the start-finish line. We'll try to take Kalen Moeller to the inside in turn number 1. Will do so. So Wesley Utt now goes up to 5th position. Just behind D.W. Jones. Here comes Wesley Utt out of turn number 2. 9 laps now remain, folks, as we are getting down to the wire. And just like Don King pointed out there, that is a good point. As we was talking about Blake Barney making the move on D.W. Jones, who we just seen get loose there. Wesley Utt looks to the outside. So a classic bump and run. That's the terminology for you there, folks. Thanks, Don King, for that. Classic bump and run. Kalen Moeller now looks to the inside of D.W. Jones. Jones tries to come down to block. Moeller nearly runs him off the track. Moeller has to check up just a little bit. We'll try the inside here of turns 3 and 4. To the inside of D.W. Jones goes the 84. Now Wesley Utt tries to come down. Oh, he's going to spin him.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Wesley Utt tried the inside. D.W. Jones comes down to block. And unfortunately, through that meeting, caution flag is going to fly. The 17 car gets spun around. Total of 11 cautions, 15 lead changes here tonight. We are just 7 laps from the checkered flag here at Phoenix, race number 4 of the 10 race series. This is the Street Stocks Short Track National Showdown. Thomas Axum leads the field. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
some noise. Gentlemen, start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix International Raceway this Monday night for the Street Stock Series. Looking up there at your top of your screen, folks, 4 laps to go. It's going to be 3 laps. That's right, 3 laps when that green flag flies. 3 laps until the checkered flag. And Ryan Lang, one of the most aggressive drivers, with Thomas Axon with one of the most aggressive drivers. Blake Barney back there in third. They're going to be battling it out for these next 3 laps. Who will be ahead when the checkered flag falls? We'll find out. Pace car heading into the pits. This time by. There it goes. Into the front stretch.
Green flag, green flag.
3 laps now remain in tonight's race. Thomas Axon takes over the race lead into turn number 1. Blake Barney to the inside of Ryan Lang, and now Kalen Moore comes down to the inside. Ryan Lang really pushing through turn number 2. Here comes Thomas Axon ahead, showing why he is the series points leader into this 4th race. Kalen Moore putting a little bit of contact on the 14 of Blake Barney. Ryan Lang and Blake Barney battling for second as Wesley Hutt and Kalen Moore battles for 4th. 2 laps, it'll be the white flag the next time by. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into turns 1 and 2. Blake Barney getting around Ryan Lang. Will take over second position, tries to reel in Thomas Axon. Will he have enough? 3 wide action through the backstretch. Ryan Lang nearly gets loose. Is able to save it into turns 3 and 4. Wesley Hutt to the inside of the 77 of Ryan Lang. D.W. Jones now has Kalen Moeller approaching to the inside out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Thomas Axon. Oh, D.W. Jones is going to be spun. But we are on that white flag lap. No caution flag to help him there. Here we go, folks. Thomas Axon through a couple turns, just has a couple turns left. Into the front stretch, out of turn number 4, coming to the checkered flag. Race number 4, the victory is going to go to the 13 of Thomas Axon. Blake Barney will pick up second. Wesley Hutt hangs in there for a top 3 finish. Ryan Lang pushing heavily will finish out in 4th. Kayla Muller will round out your top 5. A lot of cars started here tonight. It became an endurance race. Who could hang on? And it's this guy right here. Total of 50 laps led tonight for the 13 machine, the New England driver. Started 7th. Finishes 1st here at Phoenix. Taking his victory lap. Tell you what, don't take anything away from that 14 of Blake Barney. Hard-fought battle for that 14 car here tonight. Currently running 5th in points coming into tonight's race. Wesley Hutt, that Skull Bandit car really held on to it. Was able to get up there in 3rd. And a little bit of celebratory victory burnout from Barney, congratulating the 13 of Thomas Axum. And are we going to get a victory burnout here from the 13 car? Looks like maybe not. There it is. Little victory burnout there from Thomas Axum. Happy night here for the 13 car. He'll come up to the podium and salute the crowd and the flagman. What a night of racing, folks. What a night of racing. We're going to see if we can get you a driver interview now here with the 45. Driver of the 45 Skull Bandit machine here this evening, Wesley Utt, joins me now. And what a battle was out there tonight, Wesley. You got to be happy coming in top 3. Really worked your way through that field. Found yourself bouncing around the top 5 all night, bumping and banging around this field, but you finish out 3rd. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, it was a great race, Dustin. We needed that. We needed a rebound run like that. But, tough competition in this league, and I've been going at this for about 2.5 months now. So it's coming along, and the car was really good tonight.
Tied for 7th coming into tonight in points. You were right there with Mark LaRoche and Stephen Harrison. Both drivers finished behind you tonight, so it should propel you just ahead. We had Blake Barney and Michael Rafferty ahead of you, Ryan Lang as well. So it looks like you're going to get propelled next week. We go into Oxford Plains. What can we expect there from the 45 car?
Well, we've definitely got some work to do this week, some test stuff. That's definitely a hard place to get a hold of, but we're looking forward to it.
Any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your 3rd place finish here at Phoenix?
Definitely Ted and Skip. They're doing a great job with this league, and just glad to be a part of it.
All right, we look forward to seeing you next week at Oxford. Congratulations tonight on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you, Dustin. Great job.
There you have it, folks. The Skull Bandit, number 45, Wesley Utt, coming in 3rd position here tonight. Moving up in, this guy was 5th in points coming into tonight. He's going to only move closer and closer to Thomas Axum. Joining me now is the driver of the number 14 machine, unsponsored tonight, Mr. Barney. You find yourself in 2nd position here at Phoenix. Hard-fought battle. Tell you what, I got to ask, you really cooked that inside lane on those restarts. Tell us what was going through your mind and trying to gain some positioning there, because it looked like it really paid off for you.
Yeah, the inside was working well for me on the restarts. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the 3 wide, but I gave the room, so I didn't really make any incidents out of that, and it really worked out for me and helped me gain some positions tonight.
Talking about the great driving we witnessed here with the 14 machine tonight, folks. If there's anybody out there who wants to throw a sponsor on this car, this guy's a heck of a driver. You got to definitely do it. We go into Oxford Plains next week, Blake, and talking about that track, coming off of a 1-mile track here at Phoenix, down to the dreaded Oxford Plains Circle, as they call it. What can we expect there from the 14 machine?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these bigger tracks, but they are fun. The short tracks are really my strength. You should expect the 14 in Victory Lane next week because I got a pretty fast car for next week.
All right. Definitely some shots fired out there to Thomas Axum. Be on the lookout as Blake Barney will be coming through. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give tonight for your runner-up finish?
I just got to give a shout-out to Thomas Axum. Congrats on the win, and to my dad and Austin McCody.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it from the 14 of Blake Barney. Hopefully you can pick up a sponsor next week and definitely bring that sponsor to Victory Lane. Congratulations again to you tonight, Blake.
Thank you.
Joining us now in the booth, the winner and series points leader coming into tonight's race. We had a chance to talk with him, driver of the Thomas Axum Trucking number 13 machine. Thomas Axum, you got to be happy with where you finished here tonight, knowing that you were starting 7th here at Phoenix. It was only a matter of time before you found yourself towards the front, actually leading back to the restart on lap number 13. It almost seemed like an omen for the number 13 car to be leading on lap number 13. Tell us about your thoughts on tonight's race.
It was just a lot of fun. A little heavy on the cautions, but definitely made up for the great race that we had, and all the people around us who raced nice and clean. And I didn't get involved in a lot of cautions, but some people did, and yeah, it was a really fun race.
Is there any point in particular you can recollect that you found yourself battling really hard? And we talked with Blake Barney about this. On those restarts, found him cooking that inside lane to gain some positionings down the front stretch. We saw you do it a couple of times. It looked like it worked out until about turn 2, and you started to push a little bit. What was your mindset in trying to gaining some positions on that inside groove right there in the front stretch?
In 1 and 2, you definitely want to be on the outside. You can drive it in deeper and get on the gas a little bit earlier and get the run off. And going into 1 after having all the speed from the front stretch, it's just a little tight, and you don't get as good of a run off. But I could put this car anywhere. This car was just on rails tonight.
I'm glad to hear it panned out well for you. You were able to pull away there at the end. Had a good battle with Matt Cooker for a while there. You had to be patient on that outside groove and really work with him. If you're able to take back the lead and do so in fashion, we'll be holding on to the points lead when we go into Oxford Plains next week. What can we expect?
Well, I'm having to start scratching the field at Oxford, and that's definitely going to be a little painful considering you can't run the outside at Oxford like you can here. So it's just going to be a lot of patience at Oxford, and just going to have to try my best to get around the wrecks and move up and try and get them on strategy if I have to.
All right. Well, is there any final thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory here at Phoenix?
Digital Forge Broadcasting, you up in the booth. This league, Ted and Skip do a really good job with this. Tom Maxim Trucking, and I had a personal spotter tonight, and I definitely could not have won this race without him. It was Tanner Tallarico. Go follow him at Tanner Tallarico Racing on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
All right. Well, congratulations to your victory here in Phoenix. We look forward to seeing what you got next week at Oxford Plains. Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. A great night of street stock race action here. Bumping and banging around this 1 mile oval, but it is Thomas Axum, the number 13 car series points leader. Coming into tonight, starting 7th, will walk away with victory in about a 6th to 7th car length fashion. Final race summary, here it is, folks. 15 lead changes, 11 cautions out of this 100-lap event here at Phoenix. Shows you the great night of racing that we had here. Results on your screen. Thomas Axum of the number 13 car, Tom Axum Trucking, will take over victory. Blake Barney, Wesley Utt, Ryan Lane, Kalen Moeller through your top 5. Mark LaRoche, Michael Rafferty, D.W. Jones. Hard-fought battle for the Batmobile. He'll finish 8th. Jeremy Crandall, Matt Cooker, 2 of the guys making their debut in points, will finish in the top 10. Stephen Harrison, Dan LaFoe, James Kugler, Cole Eastman, Tracy Jenkins, and Timothy Barnes, or Jenkins actually, rounding out your start field here tonight. Timothy Barnes, Alex Cochran here for some autographs. Skip Lynn, Ted Groh up there in the race control booth tonight. As mentioned earlier, folks, coming up next week, we are going to be at the dreaded Oxford Plains. Dreaded is, it's going to be tough for pass. It's going to be great to watch. These drivers are going to be battling it out that small track. It's almost like a perfect circle. So we'll have to see how that'll play out. That's definitely going to shake the lineup in points when we get out of that race next Monday night. Coming up Wednesday night, the CRA Championship Racing Association is back in action. Modified Madness Tour taking on the Rockingham Speedway for 100 laps. You definitely want to tune in that. We'll be on iRacing Live for that. You can find all that information and more at ChampionshipRacingAssociation.com and on our website as well, ForgeBroadcasting.com. But that's going to do it for us, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you this Wednesday night.